Good morning, Mary Joy. Today we're going to be taking a look at Simon & Garfunkel's Kathy's song with a closer lens. We're going to be going over all the details as well as the solo and a couple of different picking patterns. So first I'm going to play through for you the intro through to one verse, and from there we'll talk about it and break it down. Okay, so in the song, by the way, we are tuned to the key of the recording, so let me play for you my open string so we can be in the same tuning. The open E, A, D, G, B, and E. Okay, so right off the bat, coming out of the last part of the chorus, which is, we actually have a different picking pattern that carries over until the A minor, and it's a very simple pattern. It's just the outside to in, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, for all of the G and C. So it would be thumb, index, thumb, middle, and the strings are going to be E, B, D, G. So that's basically it. But what I can do is I can break down a little bit more. It's the last part of the intro chords, but it carries over and it loops, as you will, into its own thing. That little part right there. And it just keeps going, and then when we switch chords, we actually have an anticipation where we hit both the E and the B string. So I hope that helps and guides you, because when you play with the recording, it's very obvious that he switches picking patterns, and it actually speeds up a little bit. And it can be a little bit perplexing when you're playing along and all of a sudden you're not where you think you should be. So he does do that, and then once we get to the A minor, everything's okay again. Actually, he maintains this the whole verse. This is the pattern. So it would be talking about strings now, would be A and B, D, G. A and B, D, G, A, B, D, G, A and B, D, G, A, B, D, G. middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb and middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. So with my thumb, I'm getting this motion. And when you put it all together, okay, so that's what we have. And then once we go from the A minor down to the A minor 7 with a G in the bass, actually the A sus2 with the G in the bass, we come to the C. Now in the C there's a couple different variations on this walk down which Simon does throughout the song. There's that one. Which is one time through the picking pattern. So you would go A and B, D, G, then we start the walk down, which would be thumb on your A string, and throughout this we're actually maintaining the same C chord. So C, and then open G. So A, G, and we're talking string rise. A, G, and then we're going to now switch to your middle finger on the 2nd fret, which is B, and then open D. And it actually helps to use the same picking pattern while you're doing this. So thumb, middle, thumb, index. Again, 3rd fret, A string, open G, 2nd fret, A string, open D. And then we go down to the monster of a chord, which is our B minor with an F sharp in the bass. Now it's very important to hit that with that bar on the 2nd measure of this. And one trick that you can use for barring this chord is taking that shortcut that we did first. So use that shortcut to where we only use 3 fingers, and just begin to place down the other ones when you need them. So you can get that highest note with just a slight pivot of your wrist, and you'll actually come down on it, and then you can come back off it if it's too hard to maintain the other notes. So that's the really good thing about these chords, is that we can utilize our wrist movements and pivoting, and we don't have to have all the notes ring out if it's difficult for us right now. So we have that option. And so moving on, to minimize movement while we move on, we're actually going to be taking this next G, and we're going to be playing it a little differently than all the other Gs that we've done so far with this song. We're going to have our index finger on our 3rd fret and our middle finger on our 11th on our 3rd fret on our B string. So 3rd fret E and 3rd fret B. And because we're doing this, we can just shift to our B minor without moving our middle finger. So everything's pivoting around that middle finger. So once we go to the G for one full picking pattern, then we go to B, and then we go back to G, but we don't have down our middle finger anymore. It's just our index finger. And then we walk up. We'll do it one more time. And then you want to hook that high open E on the 2nd time playing through that C chord. And then we have everything else is the same. Go back to the A minor, A sus2 with the G in the bass. Now for this last D chord, there is something a little bit different, and that is the D chord. So we're going to be pedaling off our thumb. So using the top 4 strings, we're going to go D, G, D, E, D, B, D, G. And I use the middle finger for the high E and the B string. So thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. And then we have cool. In the next video below this in your email, you have the link to the solo. I will see you in the next video, and I hope this helped.